Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. What a wonderful day. It's full moon in the Bharani Nakshatra, full moon in Aries, if you will. Oh, I know I talked about this really quick yesterday on my Venus Friday because I think it's a really big deal. I think these energies are a really, really, really big deal. So if anybody is listening to my videos on Facebook, if you can just go right into YouTube and hit like and subscribe to my channel, this really helps my videos get out to a bigger and broader audience. So please go and do that for me. That would be wonderful. And I'm going to turn on my comments. So what do we have today with the full moon in Aries? I wanted to cover this really quick. And I'm going to go a little bit slower than what I did on yesterday on Friday. But really, this new moon cycle I think, is quite extraordinary. So as I was saying, March 2020 was the new moon in Aries. And this new moon was all about us as individuals starting something new, whether that was in our first house, second house, third house, depending upon where the new moon hit in your chart. It will affect everybody a little bit differently. However, everybody have this huge opportunity in one way or another to start something extraordinary and new for their particular life in their situation. And what also I found extraordinary was about March 2020. I know that I was sent home from work because of the coronavirus, and a lot of people was leaving their workplaces to go and to go home and either work from home or end up maybe having to find another job or restart a whole nother new career. And I know that so many of us did take advantage of this. When you're aware of the energies, you just go with it and you take it. Even if it may seem negative at the time, we would find out that maybe it wasn't. It was the best thing that happened in our life. So with that being said, though, I tell you what, even with my own life, and I know with other people that are either acquaintances or I network with, started new projects in March of 2020. Now, this was the new moon in Aries. Now we have the full moon. So we went from a cycle from the new moon to the full moon in Aries. And so now is the time where we're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed because now we're actually birthing. We're going to manifest what we have started back in March 2020. So this is just such a creative time to make those adjustments that you need to make. You've been working on this project for 6 months, right? And so this is a great time to really look and see where you need to tweak it, where things maybe need to be fixed, but not a time to quit. This is a time to make the changes that need to happen so you can enter into a whole nother realm of your life, a whole new chapter of your life. So one chapter is ending, now a new chapter is starting. Now with the new moon being in a nakshatra specifically, we have to realize that this is a Venus ruled nakshatra. So we're talking relationship, either professional, business, any type of partnership, and sometimes even personal. So this is where you're going to really see oh my gosh, you're starting a new job. One chapter of your life is definitely ending and you're coming into a brand new chapter of your life in regards to those specific things. Now, with that, even further, with that being said, that project, you guys, or relationship, any type of partnership that you did start in March 2020, now is the time where it's going to really manifest what you've been working on. And it's really time for you guys to take that next step and go to the new level of your life. and it's going to be something brand new. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be brand new, because the new moon, the full moon right now is conjuncting Uranus. Uranus is huge, sudden change, not just in politics or globally, as a nation or world, but also in your personal life. It does affect us. And I know a lot of astrologers, especially with Vedic astrologers, don't want to use those outer planets. But when there's an exact conjunct up to about 5 degrees, I'm telling you, they do affect people's charts. So there's going to be a massive change globally, though, on a global scale as well as personal, in the way that we're going to live our life, what we're going to take in our life, and we're just going to make that change. We're going to say, you know what, enough is enough. And we're going to choose to go our own way. But with that being said, we're going to have enough of government worldwide. Things are going to be triggered. Things are going to come out that's going to change the whole structure globally on how the government is working, because Yama is the Lord of, I don't even think I'm looking into the camera. There, I think that's better. Okay, so Yama is the deity that is associated with Bharani Nakshatra. And I'm going into this very specifically because this really is about giving birth to a new generation. This is about giving birth to your ideas that's been manifesting and you've been incubating for the last 6 months, since March 2020. And when that birthing process happens, it can feel so overwhelming because we're ending one cycle and we're going into another cycle. So, and it's difficult. Just think about when a woman is pregnant. Right? She gets pregnant. So she started something, a seed was planted, if you will, and she incubated it. And now she's got to go through that birthing process. Well, that birthing process isn't all so easy, and it's not such a smooth ride all the time, right? But it's ending the pregnancy. It's ending that incubation time. And now it's pushing life out into the world. And it takes a lot of strength. You got to push hard. You got to have that will and that desire and just that total manifestation power to push it through. And this is what really makes successful people set apart from unsuccessful people. Successful people want to keep it up and they want to push that through, and they're willing to go through the pain. They're willing to go through those changes. They're willing to go through all the muck and the uck to actually get it manifested out there in the world. And some other people may just want to say, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm done with it. So that's what really sets you guys up, sets everybody apart. Now, I'm telling you, whoever's listening to this and will be listening to this in the next couple of days, be that person to take this energy at this time and push through to success. That's what this energy is asking of you. Now, also, I wanted to cover really quick. This is on a societal level. Jupiter, you guys, is coming into an exact conjunction with Pluto. Yes, with Pluto here in the next week or so. This is significant. One, remember that whatever Jupiter aspects or conjuncts, Jupiter expands. Jupiter makes bigger. So Pluto is all about the seediness and the ill will, if you will, the deceit, the hiding of things, the corruption, and bringing, and Pluto is wanting to come in and just destroy the foundation of things that are not true. And so they could build something new. And Jupiter is expanding this. And society now, they really do. You can feel the energy. We're tired of the lies, especially we got Neptune retrograde in Aquarius. Big impact here, you guys. This is a trine, right? And Neptune definitely is all about deceit. It is all about lies, and it's about media. And so with this new moon happening, with these planets aspecting each other, It's really asking that all the deceit, all the lies that the media has put out, as well as the politicians have put out, anybody in our life is going to come out, you guys. Just take a deep breath and be calm through this, but it's going to be significant. It's going to have a huge impact. Wait till you see what's going on with the elections. This is amazing. I've been waiting for this for quite a long time, and I know I've made some past videos on it. Like, guys, this is going to get rough. Now, also, with all of this kind of going on in these aspects, so this is, as I said, with the new moon the full moon on Uranus, and we got Neptune in Aquarius. Now, Uranus is associated with Aquarius. And then we also got Pluto and Jupiter coming into conjunction with Saturn, because Saturn is going to be playing in this whole field also. It's going to be sudden, where we're not going to believe what's going to come out and the truth and how things are going to go. It's not going to be anything like anybody thinks. It's going to take a turn. It's going to be out of this world, as Joni Patrice said. But it really is. We are changing our whole society. We're changing our whole structure and how we're going to do things. Now I don't do so much mundane as I do more on the personal level. So what does this mean for you personally? Think about it this way. Whatever you may have started in March 2020, now, today is that time to change your life, and you're going to end up changing your life in a whole new direction. Whatever was not true for you, whatever just didn't work for you in the last 6 months and it didn't feel good, and you're noticing lies and people, other people with ill intent, and you're also going to be noticed where you didn't live up to your fullest potential, where you didn't go with your energy. You're going to change this magnificently. You're going to change it like, you know what? I've had enough of all of this. I'm not living according to what society tells me to live. I'm not going to live according to what somebody else tells me to live. They're not even living their life true. They're not even congruent with what they may believe and what they're acting and their actions. All right. They're not being true to themselves. They're living a lie. So don't let people try to push their lies and their life upon you guys. That's not the way we want to go. And these conjunctions, that's what's bringing out in personal lives for everybody. You guys can bank on this energy and use it for a radical, huge transformation in your life, in your career, and what you're doing for yourself. Because remember, Aries is all about us. It's about ourselves. It's the head. It's the natural first sign of the zodiac. Now we're not done. I need to pull up my chart here. So also what we have going on with all of this, because I'm bringing in some fixed stars with this transit, Saturday transit. So we have, at the time of the new moon, we've got the midheaven, which our midheaven really is all about our public status, if you will, or our public image. And it's in the sign of Leo. Okay. And we've got Neptune just the opposite in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is all about, again, media, and it is about lies and delusion, also illusions. Also, though, Neptune is about the higher truth. That's the highest octave of Neptune. So, but it's really going to come out in the public. It's really going to come out on stage. This could be both positive or negative. So here's the two ways it can play in somebody's chart, right? So for the mass media, I'm going to say that the truth is going to come out, and everybody's going to learn that the news stations, and I don't care which one you're listening to, have been lying. Okay? Our politicians have been lying. All of them. I'm not taking sides. They're just all lying. Okay. But in our personal life, Neptune really is about media. So, how many of us are now on stage, are out on video, or out doing lives, or out co-hosting and hosting and all that good stuff? This could be a really, really good chance for us to really embrace this energy and really make something of ourselves in our new career, and really going public with whatever agenda we may be doing. Maybe it's with a nonprofit, or whatever business. It doesn't matter. We can bank on this energy and going out to on the public stage and really making a success. What else? My goodness. So the moon, yeah, Uranus, I covered that. Okay. So something else with the new moon today. I mean, full moon. I keep on saying new moon. I mean, full moon, you guys. We've got the Pars of Fortune and the sign of Rohini. Yes, I do believe that's Rohini. And so it's in the sign of Taurus, Nakshatra of Rohini. This is such a blessed time for businesses and, again, partnership. We can really find something that will be very fortunate in our own lives if we use the energy. And of course, it's always according to your personal chart. You got to know where your chart is at and what aspects are happening there and what dasha periods you're in. But generally, we can really have something come into fulfillment that has to do with our Pars of Fortune. And this is where something is kind of like the cream of the crop, if you will. And it's in the sign of Taurus. So, and Taurus is very much a business sign. It is ruled by Venus. And I have to mention the Pars of Fortune today because the moon is in the nakshatra that is associated with Venus. It's Bharani. So it does have an impact. And you will see that what I'm saying is going to be true in the next several months. You're going to see some really good things happening depending upon where everything is sitting in your chart. So now let's move into where Venus is actually at today, because Venus is playing a big role here with her being associated with the nakshatra of Bharani with this full moon. Venus is in the sign of Virgo, nakshatra of Hasta. And so she really is about, Venus is calling out in a big way, you guys, for us to upgrade what we're doing, make it better, make it great. She is calling for some perfectionism, not to be perfect, but let's put out better quality in our services, our content. Let's up the game a little bit, right? A cut above. We do need to be a cut above. Everybody's online. So if you want to get noticed, it's not going to be so much just about your words and about your communication now. It's going to be about, is it pleasing for somebody to look at? Are the videos engaging? Is the whole theme of it engaging? And everybody today wants something that's quick, but they want something that is extremely engaging. They don't want something that's done sloppy and on the fly. They really want to be able to connect, though, with the person who is speaking. They want that connection. So we have to be creative in how are we going to connect to our audience? How are we really going to reach out and know that we're talking with them? And that what we are delivering is going to make a positive impact that will actually manifest something in their life. And that's another really big thing, you guys. People, full moon in Aries. Listen to this. With the full moon being in Aries, people want content, and they want to people who actually going to manifest something tangible in their life. This is not about hype dreams and, blah, blah, they really want how to not waste their time on anybody who is not going to actually help them manifest value in their life. And a lot of times that's going to be money. If you want to make money, help somebody else make money. Really, that's the biggest thing. If you want people to really engage and and purchase your services and to have you be their mentor, then you help them make money. How are you making other people money? And I know that doesn't sound spiritual, and I understand that, but let me tell you what. When somebody's not eating or they're stressed out because they can't make a bill, they can't pay the rent, that's not a good feeling. When they have bill collectors knocking on the door, people harassing them because they owe them money. All right. It's really, really hard to be spiritual in that type of circumstance. So if you want people, your agenda as a coach or any type of professional service, if you want somebody to up their game and become more spiritually in tune with themselves, well then you better help them create some money in their life so they can actually get to that point, because as long as we're worried about bills and we're worried about finances, it's really hard to be spiritual at that point, right? Because your mind is worried. So I'm telling you guys, really being honest, that if you want people to come to you for help, then you better show them the money. They need to be able to manifest money, not 6 months down the road, you guys. They need to be able to manifest money now. All right. And we got the energies to do it now. So make sure that they know when they're coming for you for professional services, what the plan is to push them past any money blocks so they can start manifesting wealth in their life immediately. It's the truth. Now, Rahu and Ketu is such a beautiful spot, you guys. So Rahu is in Taurus and Ketu is in the sign of Scorpio. And really, this is going to be about great healing in the next couple of years for everybody. And I'm really hoping that they find several medicines for several different diseases that's been incurable. But here's something I was thinking about. Actually, I was talking to my daughter today about it. If they actually do find something to really help with the coronavirus, which we know there's no medicine, nothing that really helps with viruses, right? And they actually do find something significant that would help somebody survive the symptoms of the virus and actually maybe stop it from happening, then how much more medicine they can come up with other viruses to stop them in their tract from spreading all over the world. So this may be a really big game changer for viruses. It is just a thought. Don't put that down in your book, but I'm just saying, though, if they can do something magical in regards to this virus, then maybe they can do something magical with the other viruses, because this is not the only virus that takes thousands of lives every year, from young and old. So back a little bit to Venus being in Hasta. Again, you guys make sure that you're not taking this energy and becoming nitpicky, where you're not getting anything done because you're trying to make it too perfect, but you want to take the energy in the right way and really go with it in perfecting your service, in perfecting what you do and what you're bringing out into the world, and really just take it to be a game changer. This can really up your guys' business and game, as well as relationships, and use it to improve yourself. Don't be nitpicking on your spouse or your loved ones. This is the time to look inside and say, okay, what am I going to change about myself to make myself better? Don't try to fix somebody else. That doesn't work. This is about you. This is about this energy working in your life for changing you, not other people. Don't be changing other people. We still got Sun and Mercury in the sign of Libra. Again, asking us to establish those boundaries and stick with it, no matter what the other person says. Make sure you stay within those boundaries and stick with it. People are going to try to push your boundaries. They're going to try to use you. They're going to try to intimidate you. And this is the time to just stick with it. Like, you know what? No more. Again, remember, we got the full moon in Aries in the nakshatra of Bharani. This is all about us taking this energy and changing our life. It's with the planet of the planet Uranus. So this is all about literally changing our life where, maybe once we were codependent. Maybe at one given point in time, we let people push us around and tell us what we're going to like and what we're not going to like. Maybe we're going, one time in of our life that we were defined by other people. But I'm going to tell you right now, game changer today. Enough is enough. No more. The end of that cycle is coming to an end. And I'm even doing that within my presentations that I'm doing online. And my daughter is going to be joining me, and we're going to be informing people about abuse, child abuse, grown-ups trying to function in the world who have been abused when they were children. And we are going to talk about some hard subjects. We're going to talk about things that people don't like. And guess what? It needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about. We're going to bring it out. We're going to talk about the tough subjects, and we're probably going to make a lot of people angry, and that's okay, as long as we're bringing an understanding and a compassion and awareness to really what is going on in society with all of this abuse. And we know how many children were saved from sex trafficking rings in just the last 6 months. So many, it was hard to count. And I'm talking globally. Come on, you guys. As a global society, when is enough is enough. It's time to speak up loud about this. Talk about the subjects that are taboo. Talk about the subjects that people try to brush under the rug. We're done with that. All of these politicians who were involved in the sex trafficking rings, you don't hear them on the news, right? Well, enough of that. There's got to be a point where society's like, no, the truth really needs to come out, because in order to heal as a society, in order to heal the world, you guys, we need to expose the ill. We need to expose the abuse, the stuff that we don't want to look at. We got to expose it. It just is what it is. And and the sun and Mercury really is a part of this in a big way, about speaking up and out the truth and establishing healthy boundaries and really partnering with people who align with our values. Now, I wanted to shift a little bit more into Saturn right now, because I kind of skipped over that a little bit, but Pluto is coming closer and closer and closer to Saturn, and so is Jupiter. And really, Saturn, it really is all about building those long-lasting foundations, okay? And Saturn loves right action. Saturn loves the truth. He really does. And people don't realize this many times in the chart, because Saturn will give them something that they don't want to go through. But what Saturn's really wanting to ask us, because he's friends with Venus, is for us to really live our higher truth and to live our values. So that's really going to be a play in the next month or two. Mars is still retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and it's going to be going, let me see here. I apologize. I need to see when it's going to be going direct. So Mercury is going to go direct on November 4th. Mars goes direct on November 14th. So I'm going to tell you guys that's going to be significant, because when Mars is it's already like really close to the Earth, and now it's going to slow down and go station and going to push forward. It's going to trigger a lot of anger in people, and it's in a particular nakshatra. yeah, I do believe it's still in the, yeah, the Ravati Nakshatra, which is associated with the planet Mercury, which again, Mercury is in that air sign of Libra. Okay, so this really is about communication. People are going to get angry because they're going to feel like there's going to be that point where the government's going to try to play games and the society is going to get angry with it and just going to blow over. So this in the month of November, expect anger. Now with you guys personally, and if you're listening to me, listen, we can use this type of anger if we decide to get angry. And just remember, you control your own emotions. So if you decide to get angry, use it inward to do inner changes within yourself. Find out why you're being triggered. If you feel like you're being triggered, why do you feel like you're being triggered? And this is a chance to do some inner healing. Okay, this is a chance to, I don't know, go exercise some more. Go do yoga, go do meditation. Don't get caught up in society, you guys. Don't go and get caught up on the next big, a war zone, if you will. You remember all of those riots that we were having, and there was peaceful riots and there was angry riots, and one group was over here, one group was over there. There was just a total separation because everybody was driven by their emotions. They were not driven by common sense. They weren't using their logic. They're like, okay, the wind's blowing over here, and now the wind's blowing over here. And you're going to really find that people who are living in a place of not being aware of themselves and aware of their emotions are going to just be all over the place with their anger. They're going to, and I'm really hoping that a war doesn't break out, but I wouldn't be shocked. People are going to be angry, you guys, very angry. There's going to be things maybe in our life that's going to trigger anger. And I'm telling you, don't use this anger to lash out at anybody because it only makes the whole situation worse. Use this anger. If you guys are going to get triggered and decide to get triggered, use this anger to go within and to find out what needs to be healed within you so you don't have to be angry anymore. Remember, being angry is a choice. Everything we feel, every emotion that we have is a choice. And I know people don't want to hear that because that means that they have to take responsibility for their life. But there is a certain freedom in taking responsibility for your own actions, your own thoughts, your own emotions, and your own feelings. It's a game changer. Because then when you take that responsibility, that's when you draw hard boundaries and you're like, I'm going to choose to do what I'm going to do every single day. And now your whole life will change. It's like magic. You literally live your life the way that you want to live it, according to your values and your opinion. And that's a beautiful place to be. There's a total sense of freedom in that. And so then when you start living according to your values and your actions are congruent with your values and what you feel is right and what you think is right, you will notice that things don't trigger you anymore. People don't trigger you anymore. And you just, they could just come and go and you could just walk on. And they could be all raving lunatic-y mad. And it just won't affect you. You just kind of move on and move away from it. And because you've got your mind's on other things and doing what you want to do and what's creating your life to make it the best possible life that you want to live. So there is such a huge freedom, you guys, in really becoming self-aware. And that's why I do self-awareness charts. And I know people want me to do predictions, but that's not where it's at. It's us owning our own self and becoming that totally self-awareness where we then control our own life and do what we feel is right, not what somebody else is right with their own life. And I've got my Oh, I got one of my children listening to me, at least one of them. I'm not sure if Kyra's on here, but my son is. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's asking me where my Halloween background is. So, Nathan, I can't do my Halloween background on StreamYard because my internet connection is not strong enough here. But when I replace the internet or move away from where I'm at, then my internet connection I think will be a lot better, and then I'll be able to do some fun stuff in the back. So, and oh, Kyra is here. Oh, I got two. I got Nathan and Kyra on here. Hi, guys. So, but yeah, so let me see what else do I want to mention in this. Yes, I got two of my kids. Woohoo! I love it. I love it. I love when you guys join. It's awesome. And I know me and my daughter's got some great things planned. Me and Cara got some really good things planned, and she's going to be joining me on Tuesdays again to really be discussing about abuse and abuse awareness, but being proactive in abuse. So that's going to be wonderful. I'm really, really excited. So a couple other things I wanted to mention about this new moon. We also have the ascendant sign at the time of the new moon. And I'm going to take a quick drink because I'm about to lose my voice. Okay. So the new moon is in, at the time of the new moon, the ascendant is in Scorpio. And what's really significant, I think, about that, and that is really going to give a flavor of us pushing past our fears. This, I mean, I just like, to me, it's like, oh my God, this is magic. But it really is pushing past our fears in the projects that we started back in March 2020, or whatever may be holding us back. We know that it's because of our internal fears. And we can really push past those. This is the energy to really get a hold of those fears and push right past them so we can actually bring our projects again that we started back in March 2020, you guys, bring it back in and let's manifest, and now let's bank on it. I know that's not a spiritual saying, but you know what? This is life. We live here on earth. It is about money. Let's not, be silly about this. This is not just about spirituality. This is about everything. Means that if your crown chakra is this big, then your root chakra should be that big. Then your solar plexus should be that big. Right? Everything has to be the same size. We shouldn't have a crown chakra this big and the root chakra this big, or the root chakra this big and the crown chakra this big. That's ridiculous. Okay. Absolutely ridiculous. That's just not true. That's not the way that we should live. Now, also, I want to say during this cycle that Jupiter will be, even though it's with Pluto, I got that, but it will be joining Saturn in Capricorn. And one thing about Jupiter's debilitated in Capricorn because it's not necessarily a highly spiritual sign. It's more of a sign of Jupiter wanting to manifest great wealth. So let's, again, it's in the cycle of the full moon with Aries. So let's push through our projects and let's just go for it. And I say that if you guys want to make great wealth, help somebody else make great wealth. Share it. All right. If you guys want to do awesome, help somebody else do awesome. And really that's what this energy needs to be used for. So I think my throat is about done, but I think I've got all I need to say out for this Saturday. I covered a bit more than what I normally cover. And I didn't quite cover the moon, and I guess maybe I should just mention this real quick at the end. The moon is starting in Bharani, then it goes into Kritika. So again, the moon's going to want us to feel a little bit impulsive. Just use it to improve yourself. Use it for exercise. So, but just be careful not to just shoot off at the mouth and, or say things that you may regret. Just be really, really careful with that, or making rash impulsive type of decisions. Go meditate and go better and go exercise. And then the moon's going to be going into Taurus after that for a couple of days. And the moon loves Taurus. Taurus stabilizes that moon and it feels so good to the moon. It kind of contains that emotion, right? But it's also going to be joining Rahu and Mrigashira in the next, I think, let me see. I apologize. Let me go pick up the dates really quick here. Let me scroll down my notes. So, yes, Monday, the 2nd, it goes into Rohini. And then Tuesday, the 3rd, it goes into Mrigashira. So as I said, about a couple days there, it's going to feel really good. Now, Rahu and the moon, that gives us desires. So just be really careful who you're talking to. Some type of obsession from others may happen. Watch out during media. And watch out who may be telling you lies. But at the same time, it will also really want us to go after our desires at the same time. Again, there's that huge balance there. Then the moon on the 4th will go into Ardra. Ardra is not the easiest nakshatra. It's a teardrop. It's the eye with a teardrop. But I think we'll be okay, but we may just hear some news that's not going to be very pleasant. And I'm talking more on the society level, not person to person, because I don't know where Ardra is going to be at in your guys' chart or where you're at in your dasas. But it's not going to be the easiest day. So we may be delivered news that we don't like. And then on the 5th, Thursday, on the 5th, the moon goes into Punavasu, which is return to the light. And that's a better nakshatra, especially on the Cancer side for the moon. The moon's going to kind of be in the moon's own element, if you will, especially when it shifts into Cancer. And then it goes into Pushya after that, which is all about nurturing also. So, we need to nurture ourselves after we've maybe been delivered some not so great news, what's going on in society or not. So anyways, I just want to cover the moons, I guess, really quick before I end this. But you guys have a beautiful week. I'm going to be taking a couple days offline because I'm actually writing an ebook, and now we're talking about these energies I was just talking about. I took down Ground Zero program because it just wasn't done correct. And now I am revamping it and redoing it, and then I will put it back out. So I'm writing an ebook, and then I'm going to do a webinar on it. And it's going to be so much better for everybody who goes into the Ground Zero program. But this is exactly what Venus is calling for. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the full moon being in Bharani. When you that didn't turn out right. Okay, let me fix it. Right? So it's better, and I can, and it will be able to touch a lot more people's lives, and it's just going to deliver better quality. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So don't be afraid to go back and redo something. So I'm doing it. I'm using the energies exactly for what it's for. And I know for a fact it's going to be successful. And I know for a fact that my programs, I guarantee you by the time I get done, really having that format down and my teachings that I'm putting in, it's going to change your guys' life forever. And you will be able to manifest. I am bringing in so many different elements where there's such a deep understanding, where there is such a deep knowledge. So you guys know exactly what's happening in your life in detail where you can break it. And I'm not talking 6 months down the road. I'm talking immediately. So you guys can manifest great things in your life. And that's what the programs are all about. It's not about something that takes 6 months. We don't have 6 months. I know I don't. And I don't want anybody else taking 6 months. So you guys, if you want a self-awareness chart reading, please hit me up, www.breakthroughastrology.com. Come on over, and I'm more than happy. This is a perfect time for that self-awareness chart. Also, just be a little bit patient. I am revamping up the Ground Zero program, so it is better quality. Same information is just going to be delivered in such a different way that is so much more engaging. And I think that you guys will love so much better. Anyways, I will see you guys on Tuesday with my daughter, and we're going to be talking about abuse. So, namaste.